Oh, got the oats going. Steel cut, no less. And the sun just came out to warm up my boots. So what do you think of your Alaska adventure?
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Had it all. Great views, great camping, great people, and very challenging. It was the coldest ride I ever did in my life. -2 degrees to up to 3 degrees all day, blizzard, and that Arctic wind, just epic. Yeah. So yeah, that's on par. What we did yesterday, that's on par with the toughest round the world sections I've done. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm cleaning up the bike over here, and Adam's gonna head on to Coldfoot. And there's no way I'll probably catch up to him. And I'll probably hang around this area for a little bit, like a day. So where are you headed to next?
Fairbanks, Chicken, and if weather is holding, Dempster Highway.
Dempster Highway. So that's like a highway kind of like this one in the Yukon, and it also heads up to like the Arctic Ocean. So man, I gotta hand it to you. That's gonna be after this trip. He's gonna go do some more.
Depending on the weather. So,
depending on weather, yeah.
I'm not gonna. If it snowed,
And what about after that? Like, how long is this whole trip?
I've got as long as I want. Probably be home in Israel in Christmas, see my mom. So
good man.
Yeah,
good man. I need to do that too.
And a sister, and so probably I'll slowly head down south, back to the 48, lower 48 US, do Canada, the parks, and then maybe go to Florida. See some friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty distant. Again, super huge pleasure.
My pleasure, my other.
Yeah, and appreciate insight into your experiences that you've had already with some long distance motorcycling. All that, pretty helpful.
Cool. All right, man.
And
you
food.
Take care. Good ride.
All right. Take care. Yeah, good ride for you too. Be safe. It's a hot one today. I got another hot day. So, man, it's such a beautiful day. I may even ride back up through this way a little bit first, then go to Coldfoot, and then just keep going, That's possible. I had the grit and the mud on my gloves, and I was wiping the slush off my gloves yesterday, and that scratched my face shield all up. So that face shield's pretty much kind of ruined. There goes another two motorcyclists. Oh, we saw them yesterday. So 2 guys that we passed on their way to Prudhoe Bay. They must have got their turn around and booked it right back before it was too late. That's funny. You got to come up here maybe like at the end of July, very beginning of August, and give yourself plenty of time. No rush. If you want to wait out the rain, then wait it out. That's honestly, I think that's the way to go. Not everybody has that much time, but I think they travel so far to get up here that then when they get up here, they're in a big rush. Reach the destination, turn around, come back. No, hang out in the destination. Keep an eye on the weather, and ride smart. So my Sony camera took a hit. Not a physical hit, but it's not doing too good. Hopefully I figure that out, but for now I'm left with just having this little GoPro camera and the 360 camera, which is okay stuff. I mean, it's cool. It's just that I love my Sony FDR X3000. It's possible that for the remainder of the trip, I may have a completely different view on the bike. Thought I'd take a minute to show how I'm packing things up here. This is probably the most interesting thing. I've got a strap here that just has a loop in the end, so that's fixed there, clipped. Okay, this side has a loop as well, and the loop is down there, looped around the like the bracket kind of piece for this part of the seat. My trusty tarp and the Moscow pinner tool roll. It's been nice and secure here. And then my duffel bag sits on top of that. These straps right here, they have a loop in them as well, and these are the ones that go through the duffel bag and then through some other, well, the straps on the other side, which are right here. These are super nice because you can. I'll show more about these later. They come right off. I could actually pull these off and go take them over to the stream and dip them and wash them even more, but I need to get on the road. You unclip them right here, you flip this down, rotate it, it unclips, and you just grab this handle, you slip it right off into the air. So then this tank bag, which I've really been liking this tank bag, I like it a lot. It's such a good size for the Himalayan, you know? So the bear gun was sitting here, the rubber handle was against here, and I had checked it at one point in time. It was absolutely fine, it wasn't causing any problem, but once we started getting into the grit and mud, that was pinched in between the handle of the bear gun and it rubbed through the paint on the gas tank. So yep, the bike and myself both lost our Moto adventure virginity on this trip. That's it. From now on, it's a whole new game. So I was up here taking photos and shooting some video and everything, and then this guy rolls up on a Harley. Adam and I had passed him last night in the snowy stuff. Couldn't hardly see him, but I could tell he was on a Harley. So he was going the other way. He was headed up to Deadhorse in that mess, and he made it. He made it the whole way. So his name's Andrew Clayton.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah, cool. And he's got a YouTube channel, REDBEARD the Kilted Rider. So maybe some of you have seen that before. So anyway, I just want to ask him some questions and share some info with some people, because it's pretty hardcore what he's doing here. Let's look at his bike real quick. He said that how many people did you say turned around? They came back.
5. I was with one, and then we had a group of 4 adventure riders who were coming the opposite way, who turned around at the 110 mile mark from Coldfoot. They were looking at us and they said, "Just turn around. There's nothing but mud and stuff." And they were talking to the other. My
yeah,
buddy
that's right.
And then they saw me like, "You're on a Harley? What the heck?"
Gosh. And by adventure riders, you mean these guys were on like BMWs?
Yeah,
and
they were. My buddy was on a BMW. They were all on top of the line stuff too, because they were older guys. Like, you could tell they had money. So
got money, top of the line, but they just don't have the spirit. Well, and you said you came from how far? Where'd you come from?
Pensacola, Florida.
Pensacola, Florida. That is pretty hardcore. So what do we got here?
It's a Harley Sportster 1200 Custom. It's actually a 2017, a little bit newer, but I've done a lot to it. Changed the exhaust, put on the crash bars, put on all these mounts, put on this towing rack, which is a Frankenstein towing rack. It took me like
Frankenstein?
Yeah, it took me 3 months to find, because it was actually for a trike.
Before it got covered in a crusty layer of mud and grit, did it look like a pristine, nice, like fancy ride?
In Florida, yes.
In Florida, a nice ride for Floridians. I love it. So you made it. Some quote-unquote hardcore adventure riders turned back. I love that, man. That is so cool. And then you took a dip in the Arctic Ocean, you said?
Yes.
That's.
I actually have a video of that too.
And you got a video.
Straight on in my kilt.
Sweet. So that's going to be on your YouTube channel. And then would you recommend anybody else to do this kind of trip?
Yes, but get an adventure bike.
Get an adventure bike, but don't turn around when you're 110 miles away from
your... Don't turn around, or else you'll get a guy like me riding.
Right, making you feel like a tool. Yeah. Okay. Where are you going tonight? Coldfoot?
Or I gotta get there before chow closes.
Coldfoot before chow closes. That makes a lot of sense. I should do that too. Good idea. I tell you what, I'll if you can wait for like 5 minutes, I'll suit up and I'll follow you the whole rest of the way.
All right.
So good. Okay, I'm gonna follow Andrew Clayton. Just in case something happens, we get separated. Cool. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice.
Congratulations.
like I was going to be pretty cold last night camping out, but the guy that I followed, like from back in the mountains to Coldfoot, he was rooming with another guy. They were splitting the cost of the room, whatever. They invited me to use the room, so I ended up having a nice warm floor to sleep on. And now it's like past 9 a.m. and it looks bright and sunny out. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, bike's looking okay. I'm going to assume everything's still here. Yeah, we're good. So today, for sure I head back to Fairbanks, at least. And I don't know from there. I'm not really too sure. No other plans, but. Hey, some friends from Brazil. Did you see the lights?
Thank you for information. We are going now to Deadhorse.
Okay,
Yeah.
go to Deadhorse all the way.
Yeah.
Great.
You are very important for our decision.
Okay, thank you. That's great. Have a good trip.
Okay.
Enjoy the ocean. Getting some breakfast with the guys here that let me stay in the room last night, and just kind of getting some stories and trying to figure out what everybody's doing, where they come from, and what they're riding, and what their purpose is, and their goals, and all that good stuff. So we talked to Andrew, who's currently stretching. We talked to him yesterday, and then here we've got Eden, and Eden was who offered up the room last night. So appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Yeah, very cool, man. It was nice and warm. So you're riding motorcycle too. What bike is it?
It's a BMW F700 GS
Okay. And you brought it from where to here?
from Texas to here over the course of 2 months. So with a lot of zigzags, I'm running to about 8,000 miles right now, whereas direct shot would be 4,000. Yeah, I visited some friends along the way, and then I also just went to see some sights, and also just didn't really have a plan, so I just drove, not necessarily on the fastest routes.
Got it, yeah. I kind of like the no plan
Yeah.
plan. That's my plan usually. No plan, just go. So then, how did you even come about like doing this trip?
I had moved to Florida, so I've been traveling for 2 years now. I spent some time in Asia, some time in the Middle East, some time in Central and South America.
Excellent.
Some of it on motorcycles, some of it by bus. And I came back thinking I was ready to settle down again, and I went to Florida. I spent a little under 3 months
fried
there.
egg and soup.
Thank you.
We'll get you some crackers.
Spent a little under 3 months there, and decided it wasn't for me. And actually, it was my mom who was down there. She was doing a book tour for this book that she had written, and she was like, "You like motorcycles? You should go out on a trip."
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Before I forget, what's the book? What's your mom's book?
it's called When You Dare to Fly, but it's actually all in Hebrew right now. It has not been
When You Dare to
translated
Fly in Hebrew. Well, there's some people watching this channel that can
Israel,
speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dare
So
to try.
okay, that's cool. Well, we're checking out our bikes here. We're looking at the damage done by the Dalton Highway, because that highway kind of takes its toll. So
Oh yeah.
what are we looking at here? What's wrong?
So on the way up here to Coldfoot, had a pothole right here, dented my rim.
Oh, and that's a serious
That is a serious dent. You guys can kind of see. And then the next thing is my headlight cover came loose, so I had to zip tie it. And then my headlights came completely loose, and I zip tied them. But the bumps here are so strong, the zip tie literally came loose. It's been a hell of an adventure.
All right, and we were looking at your stuff yesterday, but what did you incur any damage specifically from the Dalton Highway?
Not from the bike itself, but all my equipment. Like, this is the biggest thing that made me mad. This had a locking piece on it, and it would pull down, but the Dalton shook that off. It opened up the trunk, shot stuff out. Nothing came out big except my wallet. And then, but luckily I have my debit card still. I have copies of the license on paper, and I have my passport, my international driver's license in a different compartment.
Yeah.
So I'm still able to go if my debit card holds out, and I can get back and get all my stuff. So that was the biggest damage. I had Arctic water here that I was bringing from the Arctic Ocean. It flew out. That made me mad.
Lost
This
his
bag-
collection of water. Darn it.
This bag, it keeps trying to fall out, so I have to keep tightening it, because if you look at it, it's kind of bent. And then this piece fell out, so it can't close.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
have to fix that, and then I'm just using this strap now to hold it together and to also like keep it closed. But all my zippers on my tank bag broke, every single one.
Yeah, I noticed on my jacket, once you get that grit and grime in the zipper and you go to zip, it just starts chewing it all up and it gets stuck. And
Oh yeah, one of my heated gloves is destroyed. Like the button got jammed. I tried to fix it, just got destroyed.
I think I'm gonna follow these couple guys and shoot some video of them as we head back. We're all leaving at the same time, and I think we're all gonna be going about the same pace. So I'll be doing that. Things on the Himalayan are pretty good. My chain's getting a little bit loose, so I need to tighten that up. Maybe in Fairbanks I'll do that. Everything else is totally tight. And to be honest, yeah, ever since I got the bike, I can't think of anything that was like coming loose. So that's going good. I haven't burned any oil, so I'm still on my same oil, you know, that I had coming up here. That's all I can think to say. I mean, the bike's in good shape. It's just super dirty and gritty. I lost a little bit of paint here and there. The Moscow Moto bags are doing pretty good. Well, they're doing really good. I mean, all my stuff has stayed 100% dry, despite how soaked I got. I think that's it. So, time to get the show on the road once again.
Fairbanks now. And Fairbanks is about 6.5 hours north of where I live. I'm not sure which way I'm going to take home yet, if I go right south the fastest way, which is the same way I came. But there's a fire going on, which actually there's a fire just south of my cabin. It's too far south to reach the cabin, but still, there's some places that I know of, in some communities, they're getting completely burned out. A lot of structures are burning, and it's a big mess right now, I guess. So that was all happening while I was headed up the Dalton Highway. So if I go that way, I can stop at Denali, but I'll also have to go through this fire zone. And it's down to like one lane, and they're guiding people through because they got fire trucks and all this emergency crew and stuff going on there. And then on the motorcycle, you know, I'll have to breathe the smoke. Man, that ride. Yesterday's ride. Man, so awesome. I'm tired, but man, it was worth it. So worth it. Even the crummy weather, like weather that most people never end up ever riding in, it just makes the trip that much more interesting. I mean, a lot of people turned back. I found out, like people that were trying to go up, and they had the right machines, they just couldn't deal with the cold. That's all there was to it. They didn't want to deal with it. They didn't think it was worth it. I don't know what the reasons all were, but and some people were actually in pain, having problems dealing with the cold. And so yeah, pretty extreme. Hopefully I recorded enough of it, but I know one thing's for sure. The video footage that I have does not do it justice. You will never get the full impact of riding through those sorts of conditions for 100 miles, you know, or more, hundreds of miles through that sort of stuff, whether it's wind and rain, or then it's snow and slush and a bunch of grit and gravel everywhere, everything you touch. I would do it again, that's for sure. Why not? So, okay, I'm gonna shower up and drink a lot of water. And I don't know what I have to eat, a couple snacks. I'm not that hungry. The whole trip I was eating, like when I could stop and eat a lot, I did eat a lot because I needed it to just burn those calories while I was riding for hours on end in oftentimes cold weather. So I don't need any more food. I've had enough. Can you tell I'm tired? Okay, that's it. When I'm tired, I ramble. That's it. Taking a shower, go to bed. Good night.